Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to our English class. Today we are going to speak about relative clauses. Relative clauses start with a relative pronoun who, whose, that, which, or a relative adverb when, where, why. We can use relative clauses to join two sentences or to give more information about something. We use relative clauses to describe people, things, time, places, or reasons. Relative pronoun comes after the noun it describes. The boy who won the prize was happy. Those jeans which you want to buy are really expensive. Relative clauses can be identifying or non-identifying. Identifying clauses give essential information. The sentence will not be complete without them. This is the new car that I bought yesterday. Non-identifying relative clauses are more often used in written English than in spoken English. Non-identifying clauses give extra information we do not usually need to understand the sense of the sentence. They usually go between commas. Non-identifying relative clauses can use most relative pronouns, but they can't use that. The school where I studied is in the center of the city. Here are more examples of identifying and non-identifying sentences. The ring which he bought for her is beautiful. Кольцо, которое он купил для нее, прекрасно. The ring which he bought for her is beautiful. The book that you see on the table cost me 20 pounds. Книга, которую ты видишь на столе, стоила мне 20 фунтов. The book that you see on the table cost me 20 pounds. The textbooks which the students like have lots of helpful examples. В учебниках, которые нравятся студентам, очень много полезных примеров. The textbooks which the students like have lots of helpful examples. John, who plays football, is always busy at weekends. Джон, который играет в футбол, очень занят на выходных. John, who plays football, is always busy at weekends. Now, let's look closely at the relative pronouns and discuss the difference between them. Here we have some sentences. Let's read them and underline the relative pronouns. He met his teacher, who was very strict. Он встретил своего учителя, который был очень строгим. He is looking for a secretary that can use a computer well. Он ищет секретаря, который хорошо умеет пользоваться компьютером. You will see the house which is opposite the petrol station. Ты увидишь дом, который напротив заправки. The camera that costs about 200 pounds has been lost. Фотоаппарат, который стоит около 200 фунтов, был потерян. The little girl whose doll was broken is crying. Маленькая девочка, чья кукла поломана, плачет. The house whose roof is white belongs to my grandparents. Дом, крыша которого белая, принадлежит моим бабушке и дедушке. Well, did you get it right? Let's check. Who, that, which, that, whose, and whose again. These are relative pronouns. If you read carefully, you noticed that we used who for people, which for things, that for people and things, and whose for people and things. Once again, we use who for people, which for things, but we can use that for people or things. Whose replaces a possessive. It can be used for people and things. Look at the examples again. He met his teacher who was very strict. His teacher is a person, so we can use who or that. He is looking for a secretary that can use a computer well. A secretary is a person, that's why we can use that or who. You will see the house which is opposite the petrol station. The house is a thing, so we use which or that. The camera that costs about £200 has been lost. The camera is a thing, so we can use that or which. The little girl whose doll was broken is crying. Girl is a person, so we can use whose. The house whose roof is white belongs to my grandparents. House is a thing, so we can use whose. It's time to practice the relative clauses in the exercise. Make the sentence joining two sentences with the help of a relative pronoun. Then check your answers. Here is the example for you. I wrote to the friend. He had a birthday last week. I wrote to the friend who had a birthday last week. I bought a house which was nice. Alice has got a friend who dances well. He received the letter which he was waiting for. Max, who you met last year, has become an actor. I was happy to get a letter from my friend who has been traveling around the world. This dress whose embroidery is handmade costs a lot of money. I forgot to print the article which I wrote yesterday. The boy whose bike was broken was sad. Let me remind you that we can also use relative adverbs such as where, why, and when. Use where to talk about a place, why to talk about a reason, and when to talk about time. This is the cafe where I ate a delicious cake yesterday. Это то кафе, где вчера я ел вкусный торт. Tell me the reason why you are crying. Скажи мне причину, почему ты плачешь. My favorite day of the week is Friday, when the weekend is about to begin. Мой любимый день недели – пятница, когда выходные вот-вот начнутся. Fill in the gaps with the relative adverbs. Where, why, when. We will visit the castle where the kings lived. Winter is the time of the year when many people suffer from flu. I can't understand the reason why you have been late for work. Do you know the reason why she is so upset? This is the library where you can find even rare books. The school where I study is near my house. This is the reason why I never invite her to the party. I remember the day when I went to school. That's all for today. The lesson is over. Thanks for being with us. Goodbye.